Joining. Bola Tito, nice having you here. So can we go on our WhatsApp groups and say we are live? Let's just welcome people. We have 2 more minutes to do that. You don't want your loved ones to miss out on the conversation we are going to be having this evening. So while we are waiting for others to join, I'm just going to introduce to some and present to others what we do at family meeting. Family meeting is brought to you by the Center for Sex Education and Family Life. This is a franchise under Praise for Wowe, well, the CSR under Praise for Wowe International. And we come here every month, every last Saturday of the month, to talk about everything family. And that was why we gave it that name, family meeting. It's a meeting where we talk about issues that concerns every one of us, our families, our children, our grandparents, and all that. We also talk about other dimension. We have other dimension of conversation around abuse, sexual abuse, and all that. We also talk about divorce, single parenthood, and all that. And these have gone for more than 4 years now. It's going to be 5 years in January. Yay! And we're so excited to always come here. What we do, we bring professionals to come to talk about all this. We also go to schools to talk to students, children, and just introduce life to them generally. This we have done for years. Going to school we have done for years, but for the family meeting, so that we can reach larger population, we started this January 2021. And so far, we have been able to affect, influence, and impact lives. People come back to say, oh, it was at the family meeting that I got liberated and all that, because we talk about it, and we talk about it raw. If you're used to family meeting, you know that I love to have difficult conversations. So I want to say welcome once again to everyone. I see Olaolu says she's joining from Ibadan, Temi from Lagos, Zainab from Ikeja, Moses from Bagada, Uchenna Enugu. Thank you so much, Uchenna. Charles from Lagos. Please, let's call in more people. Today, we are going to be talking about a very, very important conversation. Flora is joining us from Benin. Thank you, Flora, for joining. Fortune from Warri. We have somebody from Ife. Where are our other African family members? Where are they? Where are the people from the UK? Where are the people from North America? We are here once again to learn, to share, and to strengthen one another as a family community. And my name is Ebunlomo Fawole. Just like during COVID, if you saw the broadcast, you know that we remember that we were in a kind of a situation of overwhelm during COVID. And we talked about, and some of the things that helped us during that period was talking about our emotions. And today we'll be talking about managing the overwhelming season that we are in. So at this point, I want to ask, if you're in this room, please tell me, and I want to ask you sincerely, how are you doing? How are you doing? So I want to read in the chat section. Remember, we are family. Oh, Tolulokwe, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Oh, you're now in South Africa. Nice having you here. Okay, so I just ask a question, and I'm not asking the question the way we always ask, how are you fine? Beyond that, I want to really know if you are in Nigeria, South Africa, Canada, anywhere, please let me know. When you are asked, how are you? And I'm asking, how are you doing? Or is this not a common thing? Is it not a general thing? Zainab says, I'm fine and I'm taking it easy. Uchenna said, not easy at all being in Nigeria. Uchenna, I think it's all over the world, really, not only Nigeria, but maybe our own case is now different though. So I'm asking, how are you? Oluranti said, doing great. Good to hear that. Good to hear that. Thank you, Damola, for joining from Nairobi. Olubumi joining from Canada. I still want to read our responses. Success is joining from Port Harcourt. I'm doing pretty well, but I'd say life after school is such a roller coaster, but I'm getting along as God is helping me. Thank you, Success, for being vulnerable with us. Thank you for being vulnerable with us. Lola says, is that Loy says, I'm just okay, just okay. Lola from Abuja, thank you for joining. Charles says, thankful, grateful, could be better though. Very well, we thank God. You know, we know how Africans can be. We just be adding God to it just to distract ourselves. And I think that's what it is. That's what it is. We're distracting ourselves from feeling the emotions. Tolu Lokme said, at the moment, I'm good. At times, I can be down, overwhelmed with research, but today I decide to be in bed all through. What I love that. I love that. That's self-care. That's self-care. Thank you for sharing, Tolu Lokme. Bola Tito says, I'm pulling through, escape the fire incident. Oh, wow. Congratulations, Bola Tito. Congratulations. And my condolences to every colleague that you have lost. Congratulations. And thank you for sharing. God be with you always. Okay. Let's keep it coming. So I was saying that today we'll be talking about managing the overwhelming season that we are in, especially with the noise of social media and the global uncertainty. It seemed to me as if that we are in a boat. We are in a boat in the middle of a storm. The storm represents social media, noise, world events, and all the uncertainties. And we can't control the storm, but you know what? We can control how we steer our boat in the middle of the storm. And these are the things we're going to be discussing today. So I want to ask a question. Moses said, I'm pretty good, stepping up my game to rising above rising challenges. Awesome. That's a good way. Been having feelings of anxiety lately, but overall, I'm good. Sending you a big hug from here. Thank you to Temilola for sharing. Okay, so I want to ask everyone, and I want every one of us to respond to this question. So, if your mind were to be a radio today, you know what a radio is, for those of us that grew up in those days, a transistor radio, what station will it be tuned to? Is it the noise? Is it music or news? If your mind were to be a radio, remember the transistor radio of those days. You know how we tune it to be moving the antenna. So if your mind were to be a transistor radio today, what will it tune to? The noise, the music, and news. Okay, Olubumi says music. I think music. Music. Because the noise, Pray said it to be off. You don't want to hear anything. You want the silence. Awesome. If he also says news, now what? Me, I've not listened to news in more than a year. I don't want. Ashabi says the radio will be tuned off. Awesome. You know, this shows how differently we all experience this noise. Some people say they don't even want it. Arik says jazz, that's music too. Something relieving and calming. You know, that's what our soul desired at this time, at this point in time, in this season, our souls desire it. But some of us, we still go on to check the social media and to listen to the news and all the noise and all the noise. And these are the things we're going to solve. A second question, if you had to delete one social media app on your phone, if you had to delete one social media app for a month to have peace of mind, which of it will you delete? Praise said X. X. Who said all? Akitobi said all. I think mine is WhatsApp. Instagram. Oh my God. Facebook. It has turned to soft porn sites. The social media, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I am glad that we all responded to this. Yeah, for me too, it's WhatsApp, Charles. It's WhatsApp because it's so overwhelming. And you know what? This is our reality. This is the new reality. All we just need to do is to know how to navigate. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. So we'll be talking about what mindset is, why it determines how we interpret life seasons, the effect of social media noise, the common mistakes people are making, the simple practices that will help us filter information, and mindfulness, gratitude, and all that, building resilience. And today with me is my boss, our guy at the top. That is Mr. Praise Fowowe. Mr. Praise Fowowe is going to be taking us through this session. You know, when we're thinking about this topic and I was thinking of who to invite, I just know that a lot of people don't understand it. So it has to be somebody who has hold on his emotion, situation of life, and somebody who has gone through and will give us experiential teaching, not somebody that will just come and be teaching out theories to us. Because right now we don't need any theory. We are tired already. We want to we don't have that strength to process anymore. And that's why some of us are saying we want to delete our WhatsApp because the noise is too much. That's why we want music, calmness. Somebody said, I want calm environment and all that. So with me this evening, I have Mr. Praise Fowowe, who will be going on this journey with me. Can you please welcome Mr. Praise Fowowe? Can we please welcome Mr. Praise? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I love that. I love that, Popo. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, PF. How are you?
Coach Evan, good. It's afternoon here. Yeah,
it's evening here.
Afternoon here. And good evening, everyone, wherever you're joining from. I'm so excited to be here. My Oga has want me to be at this meeting, and so I'm here.
Thank you so much, Pierre, for all you do. Thank you for giving your all. Thank you for being so selfless. When we're talking today, Pierre said, I am tired, but I have to be here. This is just for you, for us, because of the love he has for us, and that's why he's here. So for those of us that does not know PF is a family life practitioner. He's a futuristic coach. PF, I tell people, if you're listening to PF, don't be too familiar. Don't be too familiar with PF, because that man, something is following him. If he's the one that is following something. Because he always has something to say, right? So I don't want you to take this meeting for granted today. I want you to listen and pay all the attention. Pierre, so we are talking about navigating the noise and how to handle this season that we have found ourselves. One of the broadcasts I did this morning or during the week was that during COVID, you know, COVID period was a time we've never experienced before. It was a pandemic. Oh, they say if you do this, you need to wash your hands and all that. But I think currently we are in a pandemic that is not known to all. And it's a mental and emotional one. A lot of people are already drowning, and it is because we're just finding ourselves in this space and we don't know how to navigate it. We're in a space where nobody have been before. And so I just thought we need to have this conversation with the family. So I'll give you like 5 minutes to just do like an introduction. Then we'll start talking. And guys, I need you to get ready your questions. Take advantage of this moment to ask your questions. Yeah, over to you, Pierre.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach Ebon. The first thing I did was to turn off my phone. You know, and if you know me very well, you know I hardly turn off my phone because I wanted to be able to speak from my heart, and I don't want any form of distraction. I want to be fully in this meeting. We are, you know, we have all been rigged, and we're not aware that we are being rigged. And we have been rigged, not now. We were rigged a long time ago because we were not taught how to be happy within ourselves. Our happiness was scripted to come from outside of us. And so look at a little baby. The baby starts to cry. What's the instinctive thing the mother does? Give the baby breast, you know, to eat. So the baby takes breast. If the baby doesn't want breast, we dance for the baby. We play music for the baby. Now we give the baby a screen to say, just keep watching. So it was distraction that was given to us, not our very essence. And now we have grown to a state where we are not tracking. I always say to people that any movement in life that has an entry but doesn't have an exit is a dungeon. It's going to kill people. And a lot of people are not aware. So if I set up a movement, let's say I set up a school, and I say, everybody come to this school. The right answer any human being should ask is, when are we graduating? Right? But you realize that a lot of us are not asking that question. So what we've become in this planet, on this planet, or in whatever we have plugged ourselves into, we are going around in cycles. And we think we are moving forward. And so it was one of my mentors who had said that nothing is new. It's just the whole thing's happening to new people, right? And so we have gotten to that space where we are looking for whatever will distract us. It can be marriage, it can be love, it can be porn, it can be news, it can be anything. We are looking for a solution. And so if you observe your conversation over time, you realize that you are blaming everyone except looking within you. Everybody expects the president to perform magic in Nigeria. Why would you expect that? Is that not setting up yourself for sadness? I live in America. People expect Donald Trump to produce solution, right? And so hopes are dashed. Everybody's expecting a kind of Messiah, right? And that's why you could literally see 4 days ago when they said the world is going to end, rapture is going to take place. A crowd actually went on the mountain, you know, to look for rapture. Now we can laugh at them, but then we are not different. There is something everyone is looking for. The only problem is that what everyone is looking for is not defined, and it's not even within their power. It's always out of their power. But what we have failed to realize was that you were not even created to find solutions from outside of you. You were created to fall in love within you. That's why when he says that heaven is within you, eternity is within you, you are created to be able to create your own agenda, be loyal to your own agenda, create your own narrative, shoot your own movies from within you, and be excited within you. So I'm going to do a simple assignment for all of us, and I want you to be very honest. Now, I want you to close your eyes and attempt to watch a movie from within you, the state of your mind at the moment, right? Just attempt to still your mind, calm your mind, and watch what goes on within, right? Is your mind quiet? Is it silent? Is it happy? Do you see what looks like bliss, joy, peace? Or what it looks like is chaotic? There are so many voices in your mind, so many things trying to get your attention. I'll give you like 2 minutes. Don't force anything, just leave it blank and watch what goes on in your mind. Is it bills? Deadlines? Now open your eyes. Can you go to the chat box and tell me the state of your mind? How would you describe it? Someone already, Mariah said, my mind is busy. Right. Was your mind calm, busy, chaotic, blissful? Okay. Coach Edmund, my mind was everywhere. Gratitude, pensive, everywhere. Come to keep my mind simple, peaceful, busy, busy, busy. My mind is calm. Fantastic. Busy. You can see that busyness looks like what is waning.
Yeah.
Right. Cluttered. Blissful. My mind was racing, chaotic. So many voices that need answers. All right. Everywhere. Thank you very much, all of you. Now, and that brings me to something we may have forgotten. Everything looks like the end is about to come. That's the best way to describe it. But there was a voice of wisdom that says, if they said the Messiah is here, don't go there. If they said the Messiah is here, don't go there. But that's exactly what we're doing. We're running helter-skelter. Who is the latest man of God in town? Who is the most powerful person? Who is the Dibia? Who is the latest coach? Who has the latest course? What's the latest way to make money? What's the latest? We are just everywhere. That we have become experts at human thing and human doing, that we've forgotten what it means to be a human being. To say, can you sit by yourself and you have a lot of bills piling up and you're still calm? Are you able to do that? Can you stay by yourself without a need to go out to check social media? Can you put up a post without a need to see if anybody comments? That before you put on the post, you look at it and just like God, you say very, very perfect. That whatever anybody now comments is an addendum. It's not what you feed on. Can you do that? Can you get to that state where you learn to wait? You are doing all the right things and things are not working. Everything they've told you is not working, but you are still there doing the right thing and you are doing it happily. Can you do that? And so there is a whole lot going on around us. In the midst of all of this, the world has become a world of agenda, where the more you look, the less you see. And a lot of us, I always tell people right now that the way the world works, every time anything happens in the world, the first answer that comes to you or the first reason that you have to give for why it happened may not be the answer. So they say, oh, somebody killed somebody. The first direction your mind goes to say this must be the person that killed him, most likely that's not the answer. Because the owners of the space have learned how to control everyone through the power of the media. You know, media governs perception. And they show you what they want you to see. But if you calm down a little bit and not join the frenzy and sit back, you will most likely see what others are not seeing. But even when you see what others are not seeing, it now becomes tough to even convince people who have seen something else that, have you thought about it this way? because they've used what they love to lure them into what they don't understand. And so the conversation tonight, and my first counsel to you, is that at every point in time, you want to watch out that you are not a foot soldier, or you are not an overt of a covert you don't understand. Because that puts people on all kinds of frenzy. Number two, that you are able to question what is not working. If I recommend to you that if you fast 40 days and 40 nights, your problem will be over, and you do it and your problem is not over, you have earned the right to question my prescription. That you could not question or come back to say what you said to do did not work, is a denial of your humanity. To allow yourself to be gaslit into, keeping quiet when you are deeply hurt is a disservice to your humanity. What's the worst that can happen? They're going to throw you out. But you see, you have always been out. Why are you afraid of being thrown out? Were you not that out before you came in? So why are you afraid of the out? And whether you like it, someday you're going to die, you'll still be thrown to that outside because the world is going to move on. So many of us have become too attached to what we don't have the power to be permanently attached to. If I attach myself, have you not seen people die and their phone is still working, their wristwatch is still working? But they could have sworn before they breathe their life last that, oh, I cannot, I'm rushing. Have you not seen people that you had the conversation with the previous week and they are dead? That even on their birthday on social media, people are still wishing them happy birthday, but they are dead. You can't be totally attached because none of us is coming out of life alive. And so the simple prescription I'm going to give to you before I start to take questions from Coach Ebon is this. I don't know how old many of you are on this call, but let's assume that the average person is 40 on this call. If I ask you, how many years do you want to live for? Can you put answer on the chat box? At what age do you plan to die? Let me see. Don't write 300 years because you're not going to live up to 300 years. Yeah. What's okay, Zainab 90, 95, 80, 105, Sandra, 85, 90, 70, 120, 95, 80, 90, 95, 100, Vicky, perhaps 105, Pamela, 95, I'm 48, 95. So yeah. Okay, that's fine. Now, I want you to deduct your age from the year you want to die. And I want you to put on the chat box, how many years do you have left? Based on what you have. So let's assume that you are actually going to die at the age you prescribed. How many more years do you have left? 51, 62, 41, 54. Okay, 43. That's Pamela, 45. 30. Interesting, 43. 38. Okay. 10. Deji. Okay, 30. Now, third question. Out of the number of years you have left, how many of them, of those years, do you still have to be active, agile, strong before maybe old age setting? How many of those years can you still run around, dress yourself up, go everywhere, run 100 meters, take high risk, plans and do risky stuff? How many of those years do you still have? Okay, Vicky, 25, 22, 23, 25. Okay, 20, 25, 17, 25. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. Now, so averagely, I'm saying that all of you here, all of us here, we have about 30 years to run around, jump around, work as hard as we're working right now. If that is what we have, 30, question number one, why would you want anyone that is not outside, that is not you, to determine your happiness? Why would you want to allow anyone, anything, Any man, no matter how much you love him, you know that man doesn't care so much about you as much as you think he does. Because if you drop dead, he's going to move on. He's going to eat. Why would you want anyone to determine your joy, to determine your happiness, to determine your outcome? That's one. Number two, question, why would you want to live any 24 hours of your life without being happy? Or without doing things that makes you happy? Because the last 30, 40 years, you have given it to other people. They decided for you. They did everything, but you have arrived there. And everything you thought will happen has not fully happened. So why are you not trusting yourself? Why are you still trusting other people? Because if you don't learn the lesson, the interesting thing about thing I've learned about life is that if you don't learn the critical lesson, life will keep giving you new acts, new actors to be repeating the same class. Right? So if you don't learn the lesson on serenity, life will send another chaotic person. If you don't learn the lesson on patience, he will send another person, oh, you there, finally I got it right, then you realize that, oh, no, you still got it wrong. Why would you want to depend on radio, social media, and what people are saying? And so, here is my take. I have come to realize that none of us is coming out of this life alive. So if we are not coming out of this life alive, and if eternity is within us, I want to be absolutely responsible for my outcome. And I want my greatest joy to be what happens within me, not what happens outside of me. And I'll give you an example, practical example. The people who are closest to me know that I have said to them that the month of August, I live in America, lived in America for 4 years. The month of August was maybe the worst kind of month for me, business-wise, in America. And I'll tell you why you don't need to worry. Because answers are within you. So it was a month that usually I hate being broke. And when I'm broke is when it looks like I can't see the next 3 months or 6 months or 5 months or something, that my basic bills, I can't pay them. Right. And so I just realized that the month of August, it was this, all my customers called themselves and they said, don't patronize them this month. And when I come in my customers in America, I don't consider Nigeria to be my customers at the moment because my office in Nigeria runs by itself without me. And then I had people who were owing me money. They were not paying. And if you live in America, you know any developed country at all, you know the way your bill comes to you. So there were days, the first thing I did was that I knew it was going to be a rough ride. So I told myself, praise all is well, calm down. Calm down, right? You are not going to be agitated. You're going to be worked up and you're going to navigate this successfully. So I was calm, right? And I was still doing everything I needed to do. It wasn't a problem for me. And then my account became like, for lack of a better word, stock market. It's almost as if I'm watching a game. I'm watching bidding. A bill hits my account and my account gets to minus. And as it gets to minus in 10 minutes, somebody, the most stingiest of all my clients, decides to pay. And then it comes back to positive. That was my experience. The only major bill was my mortgage, right? And so when I'm overwhelmed, I have learned and follow this. What we call overwhelm is, so the way the human spirit works is this. So in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. God's spirit hovered upon the surface of the deep. So follow this carefully. The human spirit is supposed to be above situations, above circumstances. And that is when you can command it, control it, understand it, and figure out a solution. The human spirit is not meant to come under the problem. Once your spirit gets under the problem, that's overwhelm. It means your spirit, which is your identity, has gone underneath it. And once you go underneath it, what you'll be seeing are smaller pictures, not the overall, not the big pictures. You will lose your dream. You will lose your identity. You will lose your very essence. You will lose every other thing you say you're going to do. Survival becomes what you're thinking about. So I had to sit down. When I get into that state, which I had to get into, I'll just worship. So that was what I did, because I needed to prep my spirit above the situation. So I did that. And then every night I went on my prayer walk. I do prayer walk. Yeah. So I hardly say that, but we are trying to be open here, because some people think I don't pray. So I was going on my prayer walk, and then one of my mentees called me, and I was sharing with her what I was going through. And she was like, she laughed. She said, "What if you have a check in your mailbox?" I said, "See, nobody's sending me any check. All my clients usually did two transfers." Right? And then, for what is what? So I was supposed to pay my mortgage, which is close to like $4,000. Now, when I bought my house, there is a check that they gave me. They said I overpaid for something, so they gave me the check. My mind had lodged in the check. This check had been on my table for 2 years. No, by November, it will be 2 years. It's been on my table. I didn't destroy it for what is what, because I just thought, well, I've paid in this check, I've cashed it, I've spent the money. The amount on the check was the exact money for my mortgage, but it was there. So I was taking a walk, and the Holy Spirit said, "Check your mailbox." So I went to check my mailbox, and I saw a letter. This letter is here from certain Senla loan administrator and reporting. And they sent me a mail to say, "We gave you a check like 2 years ago. You have not cashed it." I thought it was 419, honestly. So I saw that they had a number. They just said, "Fill it and scan it back to us." So I saw they have a number. So I called the number the following day. I said, "I got a mail from you guys. Is it true that you guys are owing me?" Say, yeah. That the check would have expired. That we need you to just sign it, and we'll send the check back to you. Now, that was for August. Remember, my mortgage was going to drop September 10. And then I was excited. But then, as I got excited, I had the check in my spirit to say, "Why are you excited? Are you excited because you now have a check, or you're excited at your ability to solve the problem?" Oh, so I realized that, praise, you have weaned yourself from external things making you excited. If the check still does not come, is your mood going to change? Are you going to become agitated? I said no. So I calmed down. Let me tell you the news. The check did not come till my mortgage was due. But I have enough, because some of my stingiest clients just started paying. I had enough to pay my mortgage. The check came 3 days ago. Right? And so I have learned that in serenity is where you can find direction, not in agitation. And that everything you need, God cares enough about you. And when I use God, please, I'm not talking religion. He cares enough. There's the Spirit of God within you that cares enough to help you through any circumstances you find yourself. The only problem is that there is so much noise, so much crusade, so many meetings. Some of those meetings contradict themselves. This person says 7 steps, this person says 5 steps, that person says that. Sometimes what you need to do is get away from the noise and learn to be by yourself. If you don't learn to be by yourself, you can't attain serenity. And once you don't attain serenity, every other thing will begin to have effects on you. So, what I've come to say to you is, look at how many years you have left to run around, to jump around, to play. And ask yourself, what decision will you take from today? Are you going to allow the noise outside to drown you? Or the voice of the new tax master that has been assigned over your life to mess you up? That you can't even do your thing without feeling guilty when you don't do their thing. That you get gaslighted out of your essence, and you permit them to do it to you. Can you make that decision tonight? that from now, my happiness will come from what happens within me, the joy I feel within me, the fact that I am me. My name is praised. I can respond to my name. I can jump up and down. That is absolutely dependent on me and not anyone, not even on my spouse, not even on what my children do or what they don't do. They're going to live their lives. Let me tell you, no matter how much you try to raise your children to become the best, they will still have to make their choices. And their choices does not mean that you failed. It just means that you raise human beings who can activate their power of choice. Now, by that, I'm not saying abdicate your responsibility. Do the best you can. It guarantees nothing. Right? What, however, you have power over is your ability to be happy within you. To say, you know what, every 24 hours, I killed it. I gave it my best. I gave it my all. I danced when I wanted to dance. I hugged the person I wanted to hug, regardless of what anybody has to say. Right? That you are 40, 50, and you want to hug someone, and you are bothered. What would they say? Hey, would they say Stashade is cheating? You are worried over people who don't care about you. You do what you have to do. Right? Just make sure that every time when you get back home and you want to rest, you are writing what you are grateful for, and what you have done is part of what you are grateful for. Because gratitude is the highest form of vibration. And once you make it a way of life for you, wherein you find what you're grateful for every day, you will attain serenity. Cosby defined personal power as the ability to stand with smiles on your face in the midst of a world that has 1,000 ways to drown you. And that's where you want to be. Because the rumor of war will not change. Toxicity on social media will not change. X is the worst. It's become the place for ethnic bigotry. I'm thinking of shutting it down, right? But each time I think of shutting it down, I remember Robert Schuller's book. It's as if I'm handing power over to them. So I want to be there and not be affected by their toxicity. I want to be on Facebook, but I want to be there on my terms, not because something else is controlling me. So my people, it's time to take your power back and to maximize this 20, 38 years, 40 years you have left. So that on your deathbed, you will look at life. There's a song, I love the song. I think they played it when Abatwigwe died. I did it my way. All right. It's a song, one of my favorite songs that you can look at and say, and I did it my way, and I love it. Absolutely. All right. So that's where I will stop for now, and then Coach Ebon I can take a question.
Thank you very much, PF. Guys, what do you think? So the question I asked here, PF, was to do an introduction, but you remember what I said when I started? I said, this man, just don't play with whatever he has to say. Thank you, PF, for taking us through that route. That was a powerful, powerful, powerful one, and I appreciate it. So you said a lot of things when you were talking. You talked about we have all been rigged. That's one. You said we are going around a cycle. We are looking for something to distract us. That means there's a particular, that means there's this being. So you said it that a lot of us have become human doings instead of being human beings, forgetting our nature of being. And in all that conversation, you said something about if we don't know who we are, life will dictate how we should live our life to us. And if care is not taken, we'll continue to obey. And that's why we are in the cycle. So I want you to take us through that journey of, because from on this, my journey of transformation, I have also understand that self-awareness, knowing who you are, is the basic, is the basis of all. If you know who you are, then life will not toss you. And that was the experience you shared. Because you knew who you are, you understand how your mind speaks to you. And so when the money came in, that thing called your attention to you that, hey, guy, what if it didn't drop? You need to know how to handle situation against another time. You don't just get excited about what you see. What if it didn't come? So, and I understand that this is part of a reason why we go from pillar to post running and all that because we don't know who we are. If we know who we are and understand the power that is within us, you said it, you said eternity is within us. If we understand that power, then it is easier for us to soak in and take in all that you have said. Because people don't understand that part to read. They just say, do this, do that, do that. And that's why it seems as if we're not getting results. Can you please take us through that journey of understanding who we are and how our mindsets work and form our
Okay.
beliefs?
Thank you very much, Coach Ebon. When Moses asked God, who do I say, is sending me? He didn't say, I am prosperity. He said, I am that I am. So, Coach Ebon, you are a mother to your daughter. You are a friend to me. You are a daughter to someone else. You are a spouse to another person. And yet, some people look at you and they can't stand your guts. But in the midst of all of this, who do you say you are? Now, I don't want us to go the route of, modeling things together. And I'm going to say some things that may shake your theology a little bit. At the highest level, follow me, this might set you free. At the highest level of human expression, at the highest level of human processing, there is nothing called father, mother, children, husband, wife. They don't exist. It's human beings giving expression to all these things. Now, if you understand what I'm about to say now, it may be your biggest deliverance. And trust me, I am not sure I have shared this publicly before in my life. I have shared it one-on-one, but in a meeting like this, I have not. It does not exist. So let me tell you what has happened. Humanity was crying, complaining. How does God solve humanity's complaint? He plants a seed in a family. Right? So a man and a woman who did not know themselves. And that's why, you see, when people get married and they now behave as if they can't do without each other, I smile. Because if you ask them, so let's say you've been married for 20 years and now you are 45. If I ask you, your spouse, 40 years ago, did you miss him? Many of you didn't know him, but you were fine. You were okay. You didn't miss him. As much, you didn't know anything about spouse. 40 years ago, you didn't meet him. You didn't know anything. It was along the line, every one of us were on a journey. Then you met this person, and then you became co-pilot of a jet or a ship or co-sailor. And the two of you decided to live together and give birth. Now, the process of giving birth is life's way of introducing new solution providers. And that introduction, your womb as a woman is like the vessel that person boards. Your husband is like the driver, or whosoever impregnates is the co-pilot. Now, the moment the child lands on this planet, right, your job is actually primarily done. Right? Every other thing is addendum. So everybody you call your sibling were co-passengers who boarded the same vessel to this planet called planet Earth. There is no provision that says you need to take care of them, you need to cry over them, you need to watch over them. But by the reason of adaptation, socialization, you were in the same space. Oh, same father, same mother, you convinced your mind or your mind was convinced that this is your blood. And so everything that affects them affects you. Are you not aware, many of you, that the most important things that trouble you in your life at the moment has nothing to do with you? Think about it for a moment. Just think about it. Think about it. Think about it. It has nothing to do with you. You are bothered about your husband, he must not cheat on me. You are bothered on your child, she must turn around. She must go to school. School fees must be paid. You are bothered about, it has nothing to do with you. Has everything to do with the addendum, the co-passengers you came to this planet with that you have now called sibling, or the co-pilot that you have decided to take on a journey together called a spouse, right? And so you convinced yourself the month you married that you pretended, you forgot that this person you call spouse was not in your life 40 years ago, but now you've convinced yourself as if you were born together. That's why whatever affects them affects you so badly. You have become too attached to your children that they now define, your very essence. Forgetting that there was a time you were a virgin, you didn't have a child, and you didn't bother about anything. Right? You are now gotten a job. You are now pretending not to know that there was a point you didn't have a job and you were fine. You could at least afford what you could afford. But now you have this job, so you piled up debt. And then it's looking like if you don't have this job, your life is over. You actually convinced your mind. You were the one that convinced your mind about these things and the handlers in your life. And until you get to that point where you come to the conclusion, Martin Luther King Jr. said something. He said there are two things you will do by yourself. You're believing and you're dying. Let me paint a scenario that may not be lost on you. I love to attend funeral because funeral is the best movie I love to see. And so let me tell you what happens at funeral, which will help this conversation. Somebody loses a mother. Let's say the mother dies on the 1st of September. 5 siblings. Everybody starts to cry, isn't it? They start to cry, oh, grief, I am grief. The next thing they do is they fix a burial ceremony. So let's say the woman is like 80, regardless of the age, it's always very painful. They fix a burial date by themselves. They print invitation. Remember, the person died on the 1st of September, so burial is on the 16th of December. They print invitation. They invite friends. They go to the market. They pick colors. They buy ashoebi. They pay caterers. They do whatever. But then on the 16th of December, they wear dark sunshade. They are inside the church, service halls. They go for interment. At the interment, as the body is being lowered over, they start to cry. Everybody cries and cries and cries, but in that state of grief, nobody jumps inside the grave to say, I love this, my mother, I'm going to go with that. I'm attached. Nobody jumps inside the grave. 1 hour after, Segun Johnson is playing. The same person, same people, they are dancing. Money is being sprayed. Everybody is eating. Everybody is fine. If the dead person could stand up at that point in time, what would the person be saying to you? See, that situation happens to all of us. None of us can escape it. That's to tell you that at the point of death, you are all by yourself. And at the point of judgment, you're going to be by yourself. So if the concept of husband, wife, child, father, mother, and all these things messing you up were human invention, then think of yourself in this meeting without a husband, without a wife, without siblings, without anybody. Just think of you by yourself and answer the question, what do you have? Just think of it. What do you have? Remove husband, remove wife, remove father, remove mother, remove everything, remove house rent, remove job. What do you have? Can you put a word to what you have? Olorunroti said, my peace. If you have to define what you have, if you strip yourself of all this, what will that be? Sandra said humanity. And what does that, your humanity, what does it mean? Could it be kindness? Could it be love? Could it be joy? What exactly does this stand for? And that's why every other formula that seeks to help you find yourself is only helping you find a part of yourself. So I can do the happy model. Hi, H, what does your heart says you are the best at? Hey, what are your natural abilities? P, what is your personality? P, what is your passion? Y, what is your yesterday? Right? And so you need to understand that the best image of you is actually God. And the best of God cannot be fully deciphered. We all know parts of him, and we all pretend as if we understand the totality of him. Same way, the best of you cannot be deciphered. People can only understand parts of you. But you see, at the very core of your being must be that one definition that you give when you strip yourself of every other thing. And once you take on that, so it can be, maybe you're a creator. It can be, maybe you're a support. And if you're a support, you are not ashamed. Whosoever you have chosen to support, whatever cause you have chosen to support, that's where you get your fulfillment from. It can be the fact that I'm a disruptor. That may be who you are. To troubleshoot things, to challenge people. You're not going to be popular. Many people are not going to like you, but you just love it. Because that's who you are. Now, the final thing I would say about finding you. Let's assume we are all dead. But then, few minutes before we died, we were given an opportunity to write our own epitaph. And that epitaph must be one word that generations unborn can understand about you. What will that one word be for you? If you can find that one word, you found your identity. Let me stop there.
Wow. Wow, guys, what do you have to say? Thank you so much, PF. Thank you so much. At the highest core, at the highest level of human processing, there is no father, mother, and all that. And if we think about it, what we're worrying about is not about us, it's about the people. Wow, wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, PF. So let's go to some practical steps now. I want you to give practical steps on how to live our daily life. We're all adults though, but because of where we have found ourselves, with the experiment you did the other time, that if we close our eyes and watch a movie, and a lot of us are saying our minds are everywhere, how do you think we can daily calm ourselves so that we don't get drowned totally?
Okay. We all say that we are a tripartite. So if you have to take care of your daily affairs, it's got to be three persons you're dealing with: your body, your soul, and your spirit. Your body is the earth suit that carries every other thing, right? So daily, you know you need to take care of your body. You know there are things you shouldn't eat, right? And when you eat them, you know what you are dealing with. You are going to create trouble for yourself. And so here is my belief. And I'm not saying this is right, so don't take it for what it is. I believe that every human being, every territory has got what they are destined to eat that will nourish their body given to them by God. That's why I live in America. I cannot eat American food. I cannot. It does not. In fact, my nutritionist said that how you know the kind of food that is meant for you is that when you are eating it, right, the rate at which your body receives it, the excitement you feel in your body, and the peace you feel after you are finished eating it is how you know that that food is meant for you. If the food goes wrong in your body and you've tried it once, 2, 3 times, then stop eating it. For example, I don't eat yam. I will eat pounded yam, but I don't eat yam because every time I eat yam, I have heartburn. So they put me on a machine, and the machine discovers that my body does not digest yam, except it's in pounded yam format. Before the machine, my body is giving me signal, but I'm not paying. A lot of us, your body is giving you signal, but you're not paying attention. Right? She is laughing at me. Right? And so you can research what your body needs. Right? 3 things about your body. Your body needs good nutrition, good exercise, and rest. Where sleep is not necessarily rest. Sleep is a type of rest. Many of us sleep, but we do not rest. And I'll tell you why you don't rest. Many of us don't have, of course, there are people who can rest normally. You don't have a winding down routine, especially if you're a hard worker like some of us. So if your mind is always at work, if you don't, at the point you're ready to sleep, tell your body, thank you for how you served me today. And mind, thank you for how you process things today. It's time for me to rest. We will see each other tomorrow. If you don't do that, your mind can still be at work, your body can still be working, and you wake up tired. Anybody experiencing that? Yeah, so you need to learn. And that's why I tell women, especially if you're a mother here, when you come back from work, the first place you must go is not your kitchen. The first place you must learn to go is your bedroom. 5 minutes ritual. Drop your bag. If you want to take your bath, but sit down, put your hands around your body, thank your body for how it's carried you through work, and tell your body, now you're welcome back home to the baby girl mode. That ritual will save you because you can be back home and still be functioning like a boss without you knowing. So it's called shifting of roles. Now, so exercise, and exercise can be as simple as skipping rope, can be as walking around, right? Maybe 6,000, 10,000 steps. Walking is actually very good, right? Exercise can be when the sun comes out, stay inside that hot sun for like 10 minutes, right? And there are things you can take naturally from nature. Unfortunately, for those of us who live in Nigeria, where I live, I mean, everybody that's come to where I live, we tell you, you will see greens, you will see parks. You can literally, there is not so much noise. In fact, when I was researching where I live, the question I was asking is not the question people typically ask. I was asking, what does air quality look like in this Aubrey? And then the answer I got was that, oh, Aubrey has one of the best air quality in America, right? Because I'm mindful of those kind of things and how it can have effects on your health, right? So everything you can learn about your body, learn it. Now, your spirit is not a religious spirit. Your spirit is what connects you with God. In fact, your spirit is Emmanuel, God within you, right? And so you want, and I'm going to say this, please pardon me if you're a pastor, you want to be able to plug your spirit directly to the source, not middlemen. The biggest challenge and chaos in our mind and our spirit is that our spirit is plugged to middlemen and not to the source. So too many middlemen contradicting themselves, messing up your spirit. So even when you sit by yourself, you can no longer hear the voice of your spirit. You hear the voice of your pastor. You hear the voice of this other man of God. You hear the voice of that man. Some of us cannot even pray except through those men. So if you have a father that you have no direct access to, then you are not a son. You are most likely a slave. So you want to create that moment where you have direct contact with the Spirit. And let me tell you something about the Spirit. This might sound controversial. I know you have been told everything is in the Bible. I don't totally agree. There are new things I think God is doing that was not captured in the book. I have said this so that when the instruction you are given contradicts what you have read, you need to trust that Spirit that knows you more than anything. And that's why you see non-Christians are able to move on with their lives without even referencing the Bible. Because once you align that Spirit, right, with God Almighty, then you are limitless. That's why a man that doesn't pray as much as we pray can say that he's going to mass. I don't know who can dare that kind of audacity to be running 3 global companies at the same time. So let's come to your mind, which is where the battle line is. Now, I am going to strongly recommend meditation. And in meditation, before meditation, I'm going to recommend that you decide the life you want to live in your mind without anybody's interference. Right? David says, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. So I don't care what anybody is doing. I'm going to be rejoicing. Right? It's your life. There are many things that doesn't concern you. Oh, this person talk about that person. That person, it's none of your business. Right? Don't be a busybody. So you want to declutter your mind. Right? And in decluttering your mind, the easiest way to do it is this. For the next one day, right? Pay attention every hour. Take 10 minutes every hour. Sit for 10 minutes. Don't think anything about your mind. Just observe what goes through your mind. Whatever goes through your mind, write it down. Write it down. At the end of the day, look at the things that go through your mind and ask yourself, is this chaos? Is this peace? Is this joy? Is this love? Or is this trouble? Or is it that everything is just, all over the place? Now, if you catch that your mind is a mess, that's a good place to be. You are now going to, from the following day, every moment that you wake up, the first thing I would need you to do is keep a journal, write 10 things you are grateful for when you wake up. 10 things. Now, you will realize that by the third day, it's become boring. It's become boring because you are now struggling to look for 10 things. So you know what that helps you do? Every day, do 10 acts of good, so that the following day, you have 10 things to be grateful for. Just this simple adjustment completely alters your life forever. Right? And because you have chosen to look for what is good and to do acts of good, you are unlikely to spot what is negative about people. If you walk into a place and you are quick to spot what is negative or what is not working, it's a direct feedback that you are living in the spectrum of negativity. Because there are so many good things in there, but your mind picked the negative thing. In fact, it's a direct feedback that you're a negative person. And so if you begin to do acts of good like that, then normalize shooting the movie of your day before you start the day. That is, sit back and go through your entire day in your mind. All the meetings you are attending, go to that meeting in your mind, see what you have said, see how you behave, see how you walked into the meeting, see the end of the meeting, what they've said to you, your response to them, right? When you're done with that, then gratitude. This gratitude I'm going to recommend, maybe it's not a religious gratitude. Be grateful for your leg, for your liver, for your kidney. The fact that your legs carries you, be grateful. Be grateful for your eyes that can still see, your hands that can still move, your mouth that can still talk. Just be grateful for everything. Then you can start your day that way. Now, once in a while, I recommend mirror talk, wherein you go to the bathroom, face the mirror, and see the you want to see. However, the only enemy you have is that the world is designed to make you doubt who you are, consistently gaslight you and tell you are not who you are, consistently making you see what others are doing. Please, social media is a make-believe. It's often not the... Have you ever seen anybody that is farting on social media? I just fart now. Set ring light, I want to fart. Have you ever seen it? You see that people don't fart? No, they do, right? But they won't show it. Everybody shows the side that can trend. Have you not seen people say they want to cry over something? You want to cry over something you claim is wrong, but you have the awareness to set ring lights. No, you don't want to cry. You plan not to cry. You just want to trend. Because if something hits you, I mean, I don't know how many of you have been through grief. Something hits you, something drastic happened that made you cry. Did you have time to pick phone? Say, let me now say, you won't even know where record is. But that you can see record, you can even make up. And now say, now we want to cry. You're acting. Don't fall for all those things. Take your life back from every new thing they said life should look like. And please, let me say this. Don't apologize for being old school. Because in that old school is actually where your serenity lies. And you know what that old school is? That old school was a time when we didn't have mobile phones, when we didn't have social media, when you could walk around by yourself, carefree. That old school was when you didn't care what happened to anybody in America, that the only access you have to America was American movie. That was the old school. And it's okay. I mean, I don't know how many of you have read about the Amish or you know about them, right? Those guys don't care. No mobile phone, nothing. All these things they're talking about, the sickness, they don't feel it. Right? These guys eat what? No fertilizer, nothing. And they are okay. So you can design your life in the midst of the chaos and let it serve you. And don't apologize for it. You don't have to go to every event, right? Choose your own event. Finally, throw a party every day, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Play fast music. Dance like a baby. Just enjoy yourself because you deserve to. And above all, if you have people that you can hug them dearly. Nobody has promised you tomorrow. Anybody you want to say you love you to, say it with your full chest. Don't care what anybody has to say, right? Stay with the people you want to stay with, and you're going to be fine.
Thank you, PF. Thank you so much. PF said we can create our reality because we are God. He said the breath we breathe is Emmanuel, God with us. Wow, that was deep. That was deep. And PF talked about meditation. I remember, if you take note, he said you meditate in the morning. That's when your brain, that's when you have your brain time. You're able to put what you want. How many of you notice that when you wake up in the morning, maybe a song drops in your mind and you discover that you sing that song throughout the day? If it is something positive, like a Christian song or something, you take it around the day. The song is not just there. Pay attention to the words, to the lyrics, and meditate on it. Either you like it or not. Some people don't believe in meditation, but all those times you stay thinking and processing, shooting movie of negative things, bad things happening, you're already meditating. You're just doing it in the negative way. So meditation is one beautiful thing that we want to learn, and gratitude is another one. Thank you so much. Thank you
I
so
forgot
much.
something, Coach Edmund. There's something I forgot, especially because we're African. So I didn't want to wear the African cap when I was talking. Let me ask you a question. If I say to you right now that the lion is killing an elephant in the jungle, what emotions do you feel? Can I say it on the chat box? The lion is killing an elephant in the jungle right now. Pamela said none. Nothing. Somebody said, nothing concern me. Abby, good. Nothing concern you. Nothing. Why are you not bothered? Why are you not bothered? Anybody? Why are you not bothered? Why are you not crying, agitated? Right? You are curious. Why are you not bothered? It's not, you are not in the jungle, isn't it? You are not in the jungle. You don't even know the way to the jungle. The only jungle you have seen is through National Geography, right? It has nothing to do with you. Good. If that is the way you feel, why are you bothered when they say there's a demon that is affecting your father's life or that is affecting you? Have you been to any witches or wizards meeting or any demonic meeting? Have you seen anybody that went for the meeting and came back and took a selfie and said, oh, this is the selfie of Coven of the Witches? Nobody. Are you aware that the fear of demons is killing more Africans than even the love of God? So I'm going to appeal to you. Break your relationship with demons today. And don't let your children know demons. And I can bet you that 50% of your problems as an African is solved. Do this and you will thank me later. Because everybody seems to know, oh, demon, it's 7 demon, 7 heaven, 5 heaven. Nobody has shown us a selfie. So this, and I'm not saying they don't exist, though, the same way the jungle exists. If you ask me now, where's the way to the jungle? I don't know. But I know it exists by virtue of movies that I've seen. So the same way, by virtue of what some people have confessed, and we know that, okay, maybe demons, but I have never attended the meeting. So we have no relationship. And it's not a religious thing I'm saying. So don't have relationship with the work of darkness. Devil, demon, don't even make them your prayer point. Focus on your God and you are going to be fine. I wanted to add that.
Thank you very much, PF. Thank you so much. Somebody is asking in the chat session, what if you keep having challenges that has no solutions?
There is no challenge that doesn't have a solution, not one. It depends on who is processing it with you. And you see, after all I've said, if you still say that demons exist, you are correct. You are not wrong. It's just I don't believe it. And I'm also correct. If you have a challenge that defies every solution, find someone to process it with you. Right? And let me tell you this, for those of you who are Christians, I think the easiest challenge to deal with is the one that requires prayer. If that challenge is a prayer away, except at the name of Jesus, every knee must bow, is a lie. Right? If I'm a Christian and at the name of Jesus, every knee must bow is not a lie, then if it's a spiritual problem, then it's the easiest to solve. The most difficult to solve is the one that requires thinking. If you don't like to think, right? Because you will need to dig deep, and many of the challenges are actually in your past and you can actually uproot them. So if the challenge has remained, what even remains may be your consciousness that it maybe has gotten to your consciousness that it's now, I mean, it's like if you put on the fan on high speed and then you put it off, it doesn't stop once. It keeps rotating, right? But it's dead. It just keeps rotating. So this fan is still, no. So for some of you, the problem is actually gone, but then you are not letting go mentally. So it represents itself and you are the one who is recreating it, reinitiating it. If you have gone through healing before, right, you will know that healing does not happen abruptly, except by miracle. Healing happens at the point where you say, I am healed. And the next thing you begin to do is you begin to walk contrary to the symptom. So there's still rash on your body, but you say, I'm healed. The things you can't do, you start doing them. You realize that at some point, you will just wake up and realize, this symptom I've gone a long time ago. I can no longer feel it. What happened? You shifted your energy from the consciousness of the problem into the state you want to be. That's why it says, let the weak say, I am strong. It didn't, because if you keep saying, I don't want to be weak, you will still see weakness. If you say, I'm strong, you shift your energy to strength. Everything that represents strength, and then the weakness diminishes. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, PF said those challenges, maybe they are not prayer centered. They are not prayer centric. If they are, then let the weak say I am strong. Then you probably want to pause. And that's what he has been talking about. That's what he has been explaining since, to say that there are some situations we find ourselves in, but because there's ambiguity everywhere and there's overwhelm everywhere, you're not able to calm down to process well. And that was why he said, maybe you get somebody to process it with you. Then you discover that there's no challenges that does not have solution. And you'll be surprised when you have somebody, maybe a practitioner, somebody trained to process it with you. And if they process it with you, you eventually see that there's no problem in it. But because we are operating from a place of overwhelm, a place of ambiguity, those things just come and they show their faces and we think, oh, it's the end of the world. Thank you very much, PF. Do we have any other question? Admin, could you please drop the number drop the admin number if anyone needs, if you want to process, you need somebody to process your challenges or the phase you're going through. If you need someone to process it with you, admin, please drop the office number so that people can call in. And this is
I
part
have
of
a
the things we
question.
do.
I have a
All
question,
right.
please.
All right. Yeah.
When was the last time you took yourself out by yourself without family members, without any attachment, just you? You decided to go spoil you, enjoy you by yourself, right? If you have done that in the last 60 days, can you type I? If you have not done that, can you type no? Okay, good. Okay. No, no, no. Okay, fairly good. For those of you typing no, I'm going to challenge you tomorrow. Go do it. It's part of what makes you a human being. If I ask you now, when was the last time you took your children out, your husband out, you did something for them, I'm sure all of you will say hi. So please, tomorrow is Sunday. Create a 2-hour you by yourself. Eat whatever your soul desires. Ice cream. You don't even have to have money. Just take a walk and look at yourself. You can take the picture of you before the problem started, before you got married, right? The moment when you are mostly excited, right? And if you don't have anything to spend, go on neuro vacation. In your mind, go to that moment where you were most excited. Replay it in your mind. See what you saw, feel what you felt, hear what you heard, right? Repeat it over and over again. I'll be excited to know how it made you feel. You'd realize that you feel good, energized, and you get back to being you. Please do that. Plan it as part of your to-do list every month, at least once a month, by yourself. That's the moment where you are not husband, you are not sister, you are not wife, you are just Pamela. Call it Pamela moment. Write it on your schedule. This day, Pamela moment, 2 hours. Right? You will thank me later.
Without feeling guilty. Without feeling guilty. Thank you so much. Do you have any other question before, because we'll be rounding up now? The admin has dropped the number that you can reach out to anytime you need to talk. The office is always open, and we have counselors, we have practitioners who will receive you. Please, one thing we don't do in this part of the world is open up to people. You're not the only one going through this. And this is part of the reason why we're doing this family meeting, to let you know that whatever it is you're going through, some other persons are going through it. And so you're not alone. That challenge has solution. Always have solution. So if you have question, somebody said, I have a little issue with the early morning meditation. PF, do you have anything to say?
What issue do you have? Is it that you don't wake up?
Uchenna, do you want to unmute yourself?
Uchenna, can you unmute? So that we know the issue you have. I don't want to assume.
Mhm.
All right, PF, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. The
Good evening.
issue I
evening,
have
Uchenna.
is, getting children ready for school in the morning and then going to work. So if I wake up and I had to stay back for meditation, getting their lunch ready and then getting myself ready to go to work is a problem. So we just say family prayer and then all of us will go.
Uchenna,
Probably
let
when we
me
come
ask you
back
a question. Your line is breaking. If I said to you, Uchenna, from tomorrow,
in the evening, homework and house chores, and just probably if I wake up 4:45, I'll remember I'll make because I don't want to come back and to sit and now start saying family prayer. So no time for meditation for me.
okay, Uche, let me ask you a question. If I said to you that from Monday, I'm going to give you ₦1 million if you can find 15 minutes to meditate every day without anything, without you changing anything, will you be able to do it? Uche. She's not responding.
Uchenna, your line is breaking. You might want to respond
can
to
put
that
the answer on
question
the
by
chat box.
typing. Yeah, please drop the response on the chat.
Olubukola says she can relate. Olubukola, the question is also for you. If I can give you ₦1 million every day, if you can create 15 minutes or 20 minutes in the morning to meditate, will you be able to do it? Of course, you know you'll find a way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
We will always find the time for what is most important to us. Okay, if yes, says she will do it. We will always find the time. When we talk about meditation, we are not talking about 1 hour. As a matter of fact, if you have not been meditating before, don't start with 1 hour because you are going to fail. It will be frustrating for you. You can start with 5 minutes. The more you get used to 5 minutes, you will do 15 minutes. And the easiest way to do this is if you go online, Dr. Joe Dispenza has some short meditation. I usually recommend it for beginners. And my friend also has, I don't know if Bankole has it on YouTube. Bankole Williams does good meditation as well. I think it's on YouTube. You might want to check him out. But Dr. Joe Dispenza has 10 minutes meditate. In fact, just go online, YouTube, and Google 15 minutes meditation for wellness or for wholeness or for prosperity or for serenity, right? You see all kinds of whatever they learn to use them. Right? 15 minutes is not bad to start with. And you can't tell me you can't find 15 minutes, right? Because that 15 minutes may save your life. All this, I want to cook dinner, I want to cook lunch, I want to, again, remember the analogy of funeral, right? The day you drop dead, there will be somebody else that will cook that thing, right? So don't overrate yourself. And that's what I mean, if there's anything the death of Charlie Kirk taught me, which I've always known, is that never think that you are immortal. No matter how powerful people are hating you, you are just one bullet away from being forgotten. And that's the truth. It's sad, but that's the truth. Yeah.
Thank you, PF. Thank you, PF. So, do we have any other questions before we are rounding up? And I want to ask this last question. Do we have any other question from the audience? Guys, let's take advantage of the fact that we have PF here. Okay, PF, you always talk about designing systems for families.
Mm-hmm.
What's one principle can we apply immediately to make things different in our home and to make our home a safe space in this time of uncertainty?
So you see, truth is, sorry, I'm trying to find something for the people that I can share.
Okay.
Sorry. So I'll put it on the chat box, and then because someone had asked me. Right. Let me tell you about system. System will save you. Right. So that's an example of a 15 minutes meditation that you can wear make sure you use your headset, that can help. And there are so many of them like that. Now, I'm going to say this carefully. Everything becomes easy. I think I wrote an article. If you don't follow me on LinkedIn, go. I wrote something on work-life integration because there is nothing called work-life balance. I think it's fraud. Because what will balance be to a military man who has been deployed to Afghanistan? Right? Integration is what we must promote. And in promoting integration, it starts with what is our vision as a family? You need to run your family like a nation. And that's your best bet of protecting your children from the toxicity that is all over the world right now. And so, how many of you served siesta when you were young? You were part of that, let's have siesta.
Yes.
Okay. What happened to it? Remember when I told you old school is actually what it is. Okay, Pamela did not do siesta. Almost everyone that went to boarding house must have done some kind of siesta, but in many families, people do it. Bishop Oyedepo calls it breaking your day into two. There are wellness routine every family can embrace. When we design family governance system for families, the last thing we design for them is the routine and ritual. And so we ask, what are the activities that we must do annually? So annually, I would recommend Founders Day. Every family should start a Founders Day. What is Founders Day? Either the day you got married or your birthday. In case you're a single-led family, your birthday can be the Founders Day. If you are married, your wedding day is the Founders Day. Take it like a proper festival that everybody looks forward to, such that even when your children leave home, they usually look forward to coming for the Founders Day, right? So that's annual. By annual, what are you going to do twice a year, right? Maybe you will do your goal setting as a family, and then you're going to do a review mid-year. 2 activities in a year. What are the activities you will do quarterly? Will it be family retreat or family meeting? Now, there's a framework for having a family meeting, which I can't share today. It's about a 7-step process. But then, and it can be done virtually in case your children are not together. So family meeting can be once a quarter. In that family meeting, you reiterate your family history, your story, which our children are losing. You do finger food and whatever you. What are we going to do monthly? Monthly can be once every month. We do Thank God It's Friday. We're going to do monthly movie. The movie can be done virtually as well, right? We watch a movie, we discuss it, and What are we going to do weekly? Weekly. Yeah. Weekly can be, if all of you are still together, we're going to do exercise. There's a lady called Leslie Sanson. I always recommend her on YouTube. We're going to dance aerobics or walk aerobics. 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Everybody, it can be twice a week, can be 3 times a week. This one, family altar, for those of you who are Christian, family prayer for those of you who are Muslims. You know that we used to hate it, that family altar thing, when our parents used to force us to do it. But looking back, you realize that there was something it did to us. Now we are raising children who don't even pray. So if you are a religious family, it's one of the things you want to bring back. I do family altar with my children. It even goes beyond family altar. Sometimes you are reviewing a book. It holds 6 a.m. every day. Yeah, 30 minutes, thereabout. Now, in fact, when we started getting them to pray, we now realize, what kind of prayer are you praying? We have to teach them how to pray and all those kind of things, right? And so I'm loving the fact that people are sharing testimonies of what it did to them. So that can be a daily thing, right? And so if you create that way, right, it will bring your family to a place where you are constantly having conversation, and then you will know what your children are going through. And I always recommend have a meet time with every child, at least maybe once a week or once a month. So if you have 2 children, maybe Tuesdays for Wednesdays for Pamela, they know they have their time with you. That's 1 hour where you're checking what's going on, who's been kind to you, who are you kind to, who are your friends, and blah, blah, blah. You need to know. My son lost, we just noticed that my son became very moody about 2 weeks ago. So we're wondering what happened. Apparently, in his former school, he's in final year in high school now. In his former school, he lost a friend to cancer. And if you know my son he puts on a lot on himself when anything affects his friends. And that was already, it became so bad that he wouldn't go for practice for his football games. He wouldn't want to even go to school. So we had to manage that process for him. But you see, if we're observant, we won't know. We just realized I was sleeping longer than necessary. So you have to be able to observe and provide emotional support for your children because they are being bullied around. You want to know and you want to remind them of who they are. Finally, please, parents, if you have found yourself correcting your children more than you affirm them, that's toxicity in parenting, right? You must catch yourself affirming them more than you condemn them. Don't take for granted that they wash plates, they clean the house. Appreciate them for it, right? Your praises must outweigh your condemnation because out there, your children have been told all kinds of things, but they must always feel that home is where love is. And that is very, very key. Yeah, I hope that has helped.
Yeah, thank you very much. Somebody said, what can or what should be the activities of the Founders Day?
Founders Day, you retreat. So there's what we call the family legends. Family legend is your story, right? Because your Founders Day is also a day to sell your family to. You can even bring outsiders in, So you cook your local delicacies. You can bring in a DJ. You're going to dance, but then you're going to retreat how you met. Retreat your values. The stories of your family is retold. People are able to ask questions and what have you. So you can design it as you like, but what is constant is that your story must be retold every Founders Day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, PF. Guys, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And do we want to show PF the family love, family meeting love? Yeah, really, really appreciate it. It's amazing. Thank you, PF. Great session. We appreciate you. And thank you very much. We want to have more of you, PF. We want to have more of you on family meets.
I will try.
Please.
I'll try, Coach Eben. I'll try. My every year I say that my work will reduce, but then I just get God keep loading my plate much more. But I also want to appeal to all of you. Coach Eben has run this successfully for years. Trust me, she doesn't have funding for some of these things. So we can all commit to support family meeting, right? No matter how small, whatever you can give to keep the meeting going. I see a commitment every month. She's never missed it. And then she gets speakers and all. I think we can support it in our own way. I don't know if you have accounting details or whatever. I think we can all support this laudable meeting. Because if people will come to me privately, I'm going to charge you like I'll charge my clients. But here we are able to all come together. So please, whatever. And if you can find funding for her, maybe you work with United Nations, you're on this call, or you know how to write proposals or something that can keep a meeting going. Sometimes we like to do it live, physical. Please, you can reach out to her and help her through that process. But I know that a whole lot, she's not complaining, but I thought I should mention that to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PF. Yeah, part of the things we want to do next year is to have the physical session. Please, the admin, please drop the number again. If you want to support us, thank you, PF, for raising that. If you want to support family meeting, next year we want to do big things. We want to have physical meetings, and if possible in different locations. So admin, please drop the number again so that people can. Thank you, Marcel. Your first timer. Oh, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Amen. Amen, Lola. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, admin, for joining. And with this, we come to the end of the family meeting for September edition. Looking forward to the month of October. In October, we're going to be having a hangout with our girls because it's International Girl Child Month. And so we're going to be speaking around upbringing of the girl child. So look forward to it and watch your space, your email. We're going to send emails to everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you. Chinwe, this is your first time too. Oh, welcome. Uncle B, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. We do beautiful things there. Please remember to call the admin for mental and emotional support. We know that we're all going through a lot at this time. So please, and if you want to support this initiative and we want to scale it up, we want to take it to another level. If you know any organization that can finance it, just like PF said, yeah, please call that number and yeah, and it will get to me. Thank you very much. Thank you. First time, Foster. Thank you, Foster. Thank you for joining us. Kemi Taiwo. Thank you. Thank you so much. And so we round up today. Please be at peace with yourselves. Remember to go. PF said it that heaven is within you. Learn to go inward to calm your spirit down. PF talked about gratitude journal. What that does is it rewires the pathway in your brains. There's going to be a time we're going to talk more about that. It's such a powerful thing to do. And I always use this illustration when I talk about affirmation. PF said, do the mirror walk. When you go to the mirror, you affirm yourself. You speak to yourself. The truth is, if you start it, the first few days, you will not be able to look into your eyes. And that's one exercise I think you guys should try tomorrow morning. When you stand in front of the mirror, women that use this mirror a lot, we don't look into our eyes. So you want to look into your eyes and tell yourself you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're peace. You are a God, you're a savior. You create your reality, right? And meditation. We're going to be having a lot of this conversation around this in November and just to prepare us for the year 2026. So I look forward to having you in October. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate all that. Thank you. I see it in the chat section. And as we round up, I just want us to take this affirmation, and I don't want you to do it. I want you to be intentional in saying it. I want you to be intentional in saying these affirmations, and I want you to unmute your mic as we say it. Admin, you might want to stop the recording so that the noise will not come into the recording.